What's up, y'all? Welcome back to 3-Star Draw. I'm down south 77, aka 3-Star Draw. So I've been out all week trying to hunt down this funky little end cap. It's not even an end cap. It's a sidekick. It's got all of the new wave, hit and run, lifeline, etc., etc. And lo and behold, they actually had the thing. I picked up the wave because the other thing, as you see in the picture, is they were marked for $20 on the marquee for the pricing for this end cap thing. Now, I know this is a thing because my buddy Evil Dookie found this several days ago at a Walmart near him in his state, which isn't that far from my state. So it's real. I've seen other pictures of it. Now, then we have the question of which figure am I going to look at first, because I definitely have some favorites. I've watched at least one review for every one of these figures so far from various friends and other YouTubers that have them, and I was trying to think of which one I wanted to open first, and I decided that I'm going to open the easiest one to do first, which was a figure I was not going to get because it honestly kind of pissed me off, and that is Mole Rat Stage 2. I love the mole rats, so I wanted to start with that figure because we've already all seen the figure, right? There's nothing new about the figure other than the colors and the new head sculpt, which is about 90% of the reason that I wanted to get it. The other 10% is because the mole rat is a nostalgic figure for me, and you're probably thinking, how in the world can you have nostalgia for that figure because it's only been out for 2 years or 3 years or whatever? The mole rat I have a storied history with. It was my first figure review here on the 3-Star Draw channel. It was the first figure I ever reviewed for the channel. Not the first one I bought, but the first one when I started the channel. And you guys may know or may not know, I had tons of problems with that figure. I have 3 whose arms fall off. I've returned them to Hasbro. I've returned them to the store. I had a ton of trouble with that figure, and any other figure, I probably would say screw it, and I would probably say screw it if it happened now at this point, but I love the Mole Rat figure. I know it's not everybody's jam, but because it was my very first video on the channel, and I do really love the figure, and I love that new head sculpt, we're going to check that one out first. Now, at the end of this review, I'm going to link that video of my original first Mole Rat review if you guys want to go watch it. It's bad. I didn't know what I was doing. I probably really still don't. I'm not sure how much these have improved, but if you want to watch it, if you want to laugh, if you want to see one of the this is how it started and this is how it wound up or how it is now kind of things, I'll link to that video. You're not obligated. But let's go ahead and check out Mole Rat Stage 2. Why does this thing look like he should be a bug driver? He's bug colors, which I like. Let's go ahead and check out the front of the box here. Nothing new really to report in here. Check out the sides here. This little pretty good looking artwork. I like this one. This one looks alright. So this is obviously Energon Ravaged Mole Rat Stage 2. Here's our QR code that still goes to the splash page. Hell is where people say, but it just goes to a Hasbro splash page. And here's the back, and I think it's an odd choice. They always put the little pictures over here on the side of stuff they want to call your attention to, and they just showed the original head. Like, the entire selling point of this figure is the new head with the energon growing out of it in the skull. Like, why would they put this one in the close-up? And then the little Geiger counter thing on the back of the box, and he's down, not in a cave. This is in a sewer. I hope I remember this for later. That's pretty cool. So there we go. Mole Rat. Let's get this guy out and see how he compares to the original. here's how he comes packed in the tray. No surprises there, nothing hidden underneath. So, man, I really like the colors on this guy. There is all of his stuff. Actually got my little snips out, but I didn't need them. Surprisingly little amount of tape on this guy. And the first time we got the mole rat was one of the windowless boxes. So I did not get to experience hearing one of the arms rattle around inside the box this time. All I did was pop him out and flip him over. So as you can see, I do have my mole rats out, and some of my little dark energon that I made for them to mine and fight each other over. And I do just keep this guy displayed with his arm off, because it just falls off if you look at it. The other one does too. And then there's one other, I don't remember which one. I have two, I think now, maybe three, but I know two. I've got two. I think it might be this guy. I kind of quit keeping up with it on which one's arms you just move and they fall off. Maybe that'll be the one that I pick up and show the differences in. So all that to say, the very first thing I'm going to check on Mole Rat, we'll look at the accessories and really the head. I mean, that's really all we need to look at with this guy, I think, is the new head. Is I want to see how the arms are, because what happened, so maybe I got a good one or they actually fixed it. I know not a lot, or not everybody had this issue with the original mole rat. I know my cousin did. He got one, and the arm was loose in the box. So no issues here. So what happens on this one that I had is the little cup pops off for the butterfly. Like the whole thing just pops off. And I think the cup is in a parts bag for this. So I can't see what the difference is that they changed. Really all it needed was the pegs that go in there needed to be a little longer. But literally like the whole cup just popped off, and it just will not stay in there. So since we're already holding on to him, let's take a look at him here. He does come with his hose already plugged in for this head sculpt. Down here, into the mask. I do like the eyes. I do like they brighten that up with that really dark energon pinkish purple. And then again, I said bug colors. Like this, he is the color of the bug. Got his ab crunch up here, all his pouches. Over here, you got these little vents, these little ports. I mean, we've seen this guy, right? So we'll go ahead and let's grab this guy, because I've got him kind of kitted up the same, so you can see the differences. I mean, it's the same everything. Pinned legs, pinless arms, but the legs do have pins. So there's your color difference. So they just changed all this to like a aqua, and then our bright green. I actually really like this color. I actually might like this color better than this one, honestly. So then we do get our purple lantern here, which somebody's got one. Okay, he's got one. So that's a different color on the new one. This is almost like a Techno Viper purple. So that is different on these guys. So let's get back to him. He's going to have the same articulation. Got our standard classified articulation. Don't really tend to go over that as much anymore as I used to, because I think we all probably pretty much know what we're getting into. Top of the boot at the cuff, which I actually like that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't think the boot swiveled too. And I like to just check these joints out of the package to make sure none of them are frozen or anything. He actually feels pretty smooth. The arms kind of loose, but I mean they're not falling out loose, so I can deal with that. And then back of him. So let's grab one arm here and just see the differences in the colors on the back. Not a lot of new stuff to go over here. I didn't really think that there would be. Just colors. I really like that though. That really pops. It gives me some of my Bloody Valentine vibes. These are going to be exactly the same on the backpack. Still didn't really hit that with any paint apps or anything. And then on his drill, that does come apart. It just pops apart in case you don't have a mole rat, because a lot of people skip the mole rat the first time around just because it's not really their jam. I feel like the weapons are not as gummy as these were. Maybe a little more rigid. No paint or anything on this thing this time around either. This is a little handheld, like a whatever radiation Geiger meter I keep calling it, to detect the energon. It's an energon meter. I mean, come on, let's call it what it is. I don't even really want to kit this guy up, or I've got everything. I've got every combination displayed out here on these other figures, and he's going to go together the same way. So this design actually works a lot better in these colors. For what they're accomplishing with this guy, I think. So let's go ahead and pop this off. Well, that one actually was on there pretty tight on that section of the hose. So we don't really need that hose anymore, changing these head sculpts out. So that one just pops off. So let's take a look at our original head sculpt that we had with him. Head on there. I didn't hear it pop, but it's on there. So grab this guy again. Come here, buddy. So it looks like, yeah, I hope that's showing on camera. So the new one, even the skin tone has more of a purplish hue to it. I hope that shows up. I don't know if it will. But the much more purple where the skin is just kind of falling off. Eyes seem to be the same. And then, of course, on the Energon here, it is a whole lot darker purple. And really, this is, when we think this Energon stuff, this is really kind of the color that you think, although dark Energon, we didn't really think anything about this being a dark color of these crystals on this guy. So just kind of get him standing. I know this top-down view is not great for trying to compare them or look at them standing or anything. He does look good. Like he pops way better than the first one does, and just kind of get him shuffling along there, dragging a foot. My cousin and I, Pop Blender, when we looked at the promo shots for this wave, we had a really good time doing commentary on how they really just kind of changed around, like dragging a foot or bending an elbow or something, and we had a good time just saying, okay, for this next shot. So yeah, here's what we're gonna do. Just let's bend that left knee just a little bit and kind of hunch him over a little more, and then we'll do that shot. Just stuff like that. It was a good time on one of our Sevens Wild streams. I gotta say, this is a really visually appealing figure. I was not gonna buy this figure, y'all, as much as I love the mole rat. I mean, my mole rats, some of them fall apart, and fool me once, Hasbro, and I'm gonna buy 5 more of them. Damn it. All right, let's look at the new one, because this is the price of admission for this figure. I mean, if you like the colors, great. This is the whole shtick for this figure. So we do get this skull where the Energon is taken over and crystallized this poor guy's entire head, and I guess it is ripped through his protective hood wear to the point where it's just gone, and you can see that it's just snapped. The mask is completely fallen off. All that's left is the little earpieces. And what is that piece there? Because that piece, that's kind of weird, because the top of the collar is silver. So that piece technically isn't even really on this guy. This black piece in the back. Even the back of the hood, like it doesn't have that black piece there, or this black piece, you see? So that's weird. Like, I don't know where this, like, where on the figure as an evolution of this one this comes from. You just get the tightening ear flap straps. Either way, like, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's kind of odd. Seems like this would have been silver or something. I don't know. Pretty cool looking head sculpt. It's got your jawbone down there with the teeth where it's even coming out of the mouth. So that means it is all the way through this guy's skull. Like, there's nothing left. And it's not, I mean, it is translucent, but it's really not. It will probably look pretty good with the right lighting on it. So let's put it on him, check him out, because I mean, this is the whole reason for getting this dude, right? Like, I don't even, unless you had a bunch of these, I don't even know like why you would need this head. So he's all just shuffling along there, just going to work. This is his lunchbox. Just going down to the mine to get some energon, honey. There's your mole rat stage 2. Figure feels solid. Got this upper torso cut here. I don't like twisting these around much. His actually feels pretty tight, but I'm always feel like I'm going to stretch that inside of there, and he's not going to snap back together right. Figure's actually pretty solid. I guess we can go ahead and throw his weapon in his hand. He does have those really, really tough plastic on the hands. So here's his laser rifle pistol part of his weapon. So at least these guys got a gun. I mean, we did get, quite a few figures that don't really have anything other than a sidearm. We got a couple that didn't even get sidearms. Looking at you, Barbecue. Not bad. Like, just an undead, mutated army of these guys coming after you. I gotta say, I probably will keep the other one that I got from Pulse. So if you want to see just the differences in them, so I've got, that guy's holding the drill. Let's grab him with the weapon and get all this stuff on there. And so, like, the backpack, I mean, you don't really need the backpack. The hole's not there to plug the tube in, and at this point, like, you don't even really need a backpack on this dude, do you? I mean, I guess just to show, like, how bad he is and shuffling along there. Maybe this is like that water pipe that Jabba had. There's like Energon Dank in there or something. I don't know. All right. So I'm not really going to go through and kit this guy up a whole lot more than this. We needed to look at this head sculpt and the differences in this one. I do like this one. I actually like this figure better than the original. I just don't know what to really do with it. So I thought maybe since this is a stage 2, so this guy is way more infected than these are. So technically this would have been the first guy down there to look at the Energon, right? So maybe this was the crew leader going down to check it out and make sure it was safe for everybody, and he come back out and it's like, yep, it's good, you guys go down there and get to work. And then he sat down and he opened up his lunchbox, and all of a sudden he's not feeling too good and starts getting eaten alive by the Energon radiation. And then these guys start coming out. This dude's like, man, I don't feel so good either. My damn arm fell off. And they're sitting there talking about lunch. I don't know. This guy was going to be just like a supervisor of watching over these guys, but since he's way more infected, he would have had to been the first one down there, right? So the other thing we got to do while we're here is see what this head looks like on one of these. So I guess if you wanted to, you could, if you had enough of them, you could use this head on the original mole rat, because it looks pretty good on there too. If you just got this on there, like, you don't know that he was only just a little bit infected, right? So you could definitely put this head on any other mole rat and make it work. So, and then I guess, no, you can't do that because the color don't really match. So you can do that, swap them out that way. So I guess you could have this guy and make either one of them. You do that, and this guy's definitely was the first one down in the hole with the shovel because his whole arm fell off. So what do you guys think about Mole Rat Stage 2? I don't want to see a stage 3, but I also do want to see a stage 3. So I'm going to edit this part back in somewhere because I was sitting there doing the pictures and I completely missed, and I'm sure somebody's pointed it out before, but I kind of forgot about it. So on the original, he's got this almost like a status light, and it's green. It's actually almost the color of the new one's suit, but on the new one, so you get this heartbeat monitor and it's in orange, and this up here is in orange. So I missed that while I was looking at it, and so this makes me think Resident Evil. This has got to be like a Resident Evil homage from your health. Like it's perfect and it's green, and then when you're hurt pretty bad, it goes to orange and the heartbeat sensor picks up, and then right before you die in the game, this will be red and moving really quickly. So I guarantee if they do a stage 3, this will be red and just a bunch of like crazy heartbeat sensor spikes, or it will be red and it will just be flat. It might be that. But I just wanted to point that out because I just was posing them around for pictures and I was like, oh man, I missed that. I missed that detail on this guy. And as you can see, as I was moving him around, yeah, it was this guy. And there's his arm. So the cup is what keeps falling out. So luckily this one didn't have that problem. This is a lazy repaint. It just hits me right in a combination of things that I like. Like, I like supernatural stuff. I love the Energon stuff. They're zombies, but they're not really zombies. So that's why I like this figure so much. I like something like this more than, say, just a straight up zombie Viper. But this is a pretty lazy figure, like is what we said when we first saw it. But damn, that head sculpt really does make up for a lot. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you pick it up? I didn't have that popped on there. Same size though on the ball peg. Yeah, they really, I feel like, should have at least tooled a new shoulder or something somewhere. If this guy is so infected that it has already come up through his entire head and his skull and eaten the skin all the way off, have these crystals not ripped through this containment suit somewhere? That's my only real gripe with it. And because they didn't do anything other than tool a new head, it's a pretty lazy repaint. It just happens to be one that I do really like. So as far as rating this guy, man, I don't know. I really like the figure, but again, same weapons, no paint really on anything different other than the sample here. It's not a lantern. It's a sample container for Energon. Man, I don't know. I just can't rate it that high. As much as I like it, this is a 3.5 yeehaws for me, which is a kind of a low score on my rating system. But there's just not enough new here for me. I like it. It is what it is. It's just not. There's nothing to rave over here, other than the colors pop and the new head is badass. If it didn't have this head, this would have just been a 3 for me. Now these glow. So I'll tell you, I almost forgot about that here at the end. I'm gonna get my light and we will see how well these new ones glow. Yeah, it just got really dark. The only light on in here really is my monitor, but let's get the black light out and hit all of these guys with a little bit of light. So here's the new head, and then the new Energon head, and then there's the new crystal head, and let's see. It glows pretty well. I don't know how long it's going to last. The eyes glow on this, but they're not even, they did on the original, they're not even really picking it up. No, they really pop in that black light, but they don't, if they glow, yeah, I can see a little bit, but it's not very much at all. But the crystals actually glow a lot better. And then you can see back in the back here, the sample glows on these guys and whatever. I mean, the crystal on the old ones actually glow pretty well. They just don't glow for long. Lights back on. There we go. All right, so Mole Rat Stage 2. Let me know what you guys think about him down in the comments. I'm looking forward to doing some pictures with this guy. I probably won't do a whole lot of pictures for the reviews for this wave because I got them all at once and I'm trying to get through them. So I'll put a few here on the end, but they're not going to be super fancy. So let me know what you guys think about Mole Rat Stage 2. This change your mind, or you still think he's a pretty lame, lazy throw-in figure? Because I mean, let's be honest, it's kind of what he is. All right, I appreciate it, guys. Hit that like, that thumbs up, that share, all of that good stuff. Holler at me in the comments. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time on 3 Star Draw.